So I get a lot of questions, obviously, about how to set up to go salmon fishing. People come in the store all the time and I rig it up for them, show them how to tie on, how to set up their weight, their hook, their bait, all of that. So I figured I would make a video about it so that anyone coming into town who hasn't done this before can take a look and just see how easy it is. And as much as I'd like to get you in the store, the idea here is that you're self-sufficient and you don't need my help. If I'm teaching you correctly, you'll only have to be taught once and then you're off doing it on your own. So just for reference, this is the setup I personally have. So as you can see, I am currently running a 10-foot noodle rod. So a noodle rod is essentially a fly rod just built with single foot Fujis instead of the snake guide. So it's a spinning rod built on a fly rod blank, and you can see all of the flexibility in that, which allows me then to use very light line. I personally run a fly reel for my setup, even though I'm not using fly line. And as you can see, I use just basic monofilament on the fly reel here. I have 12 pound on there currently. And the benefit of having a 10-foot rod is you can drop down to very light line. I was using 8 pound last year, and I had no problems with it, and had a lot of success actually, and have kept this setup for this year as well, and will continue to use it. Okay, so once you have your line strung through your rod, it's a very basic setup. So you're just going to take your line. I'm using straight monofilament. This time of year, the salmon aren't as picky as the trout. The water's up right now too, so it's kind of turned over. You really don't need fluorocarbon. You can absolutely use it, but I just prefer, if I don't have to, not to have a break in my point with a swivel dropping down to fluoro, because that every break in your line is going to create a weak point. Also, fluorocarbon is a bit more expensive than monofilament, and you really don't need it right now. So all you do now is take a hook. This one is a size 2, and I just tie on with a double polymer. There's a ton of videos on that you can find. Snelling is a great way to go. I've just found it takes a little bit more time, and when you're tying on with flies, you really can't snell. So I just use a double polymer. They hold up great for me and saves me a little bit of time. So you've got that nice and snug. And just clip the extra line off. And now the most important part of your setup is going to be your weight. So you're only allowed to have your split shot 4 feet away from your hook and not directly touching your hook. You don't want it directly touching your hook anyway. You want to get as close to that 4 feet as you can. So I know for myself personally, this is just because I've done it so much. If I hold the hook and run it the length of my arm, and then about to the other side of my shoulder, from here to here, we're looking at about 3.5 feet. So after you've got your hook on, we're going to go to the most important part of your setup, which is your weight. And here we use split shot. So split shot are unique in that they crimp right on the line. You put it through here. So you're gonna put it on the line, take a pair of pliers, and pinch it down. Now the reason we use split shot here is because they're very easy to add and subtract. So they come in multiple sizes, and you might be fishing one spot on the river and need 3 of these, and then you go down to another part of the river and you only need 1. And they have these little tails on the back, so all you have to do is take your pliers and pinch it. It opens up, and you can kind of play around with different sizes and quantities of them on your line to see how many you need to be bouncing the bottom in the area of river that's right in front of you, because getting your bait to the bottom is key. You have to bounce the bottom, And these are what's gonna help you do that. So, once I have, like I showed you before, my full length of that, I'm gonna take split shot, and just for example, I'm gonna start with 3. I usually start with 3 number 2s, depending on if I'm in faster water, slower water. That's what I would start with in medium fast water, and then add from there until you start really feeling the bottom when you're doing your drift. So you just put it on the line like this, right through the teeth of that. I'll bring it up so you can see. So you put that right through, and you pinch them directly on the line with your pliers. So, 2, and 3. So I've got my hook here, and then further up the line, I have my split shot. So it's gonna go your main line from the rod, and then off of the end of your rod, it's gonna go split shot, and then down at the very end is going to be your hook. Then from there, I use a lot of flies, and soft plastic eggs are some of my favorites. So I'm just gonna take a single one of these, pop it off, just a little single soft plastic eggs. Now these aren't real, they're a synthetic egg, like a soft plastic rubber egg. See, they're squishy and they hold on the hook a lot better. If you try and use real eggs and put them through, they're just gonna pop and slide off. So all you do is take that, put it on your hook, and you're ready to go now. People don't seem to always want to believe me when I tell them it's a very basic setup, but this is all it is. Your main line, you tie a hook on the end with a piece of bait, just like that. Pinch your split shot right on the end, and you're ready to get in the water. I hope you found this video helpful and learned something from it, so that you can take what you saw here and bring it to Pulaski when you come to fish. If you did find it helpful, share it with someone you know who is also going to come here or is thinking about it and wondering if it's complicated to learn. As you can see, it's very basic. And for more videos like this, like and subscribe, and I'll keep putting out more content so that I can teach people, whether they're in the store or out there in their house just trying to figure out how to best prepare themselves when they come into town.